Today is our Speedy Yard work day. We are getting ready to go outside and get stuff done. Of course, with kids, we can't just get out there, there's a process. While we're getting ready, Ben's building a pull-up bar outside. I've been looking forward to this day for a while because we are dying to see some progress made in our yard, and this is the perfect time to work on it. It's not too hot, nothing's growing right now, the trees are totally bare, plus I'm anticipating a lot of work coming up in the spring, so it sounds nice to get it all cleaned up beforehand. We have a list of things we want to get done today, and we're strategizing about where to start. But we also are waiting for something very special to show up. So while we wait, let's look at that list. Here are all the things we plan to get done. Maybe you're looking at this list thinking you're crazy, you're never going to be able to get all this done in one day. If so, then you are correct. We were not even close, but it wasn't a complete failure. Here are the before shots of the yard. Okay, here is the big reveal. We rented a tractor and it's being dropped off at our house. We figured we're never going to be able to clear out all these rocks by hand, so this felt like a very necessary step. We got it for 24 hours and had it delivered and picked up from our house. We had never done this before, but we figured how hard could it be? There were also a few tools we borrowed from our neighbors, including this wheelbarrow. Obviously, this was very exciting for the kids, so we had to start out by just having fun and giving everyone a turn, myself included. To be honest, I did not expect to ride this a lot personally, but I was wrong. Later in the day, I would end up riding it quite a bit. The kids were amazing, as always. They enjoyed playing in the sand, wandering around, and eating snacks. They still required a lot of energy from me, so I had to set reasonable expectations for myself. But while they were distracted, I worked on clearing an area where the rock pile could go. Little did I know we did not end up moving all the rocks, but at least we got started. After many hours of Ben working on clearing the rocks, tearing down the beds, he was exhausted. I basically had to force him to take a break, then eventually took over his job. It was actually kind of fun, especially since I didn't have to do it all day. Ben's brother and his wife came to our rescue that evening by bringing dinner over and making it for us. By then it was definitely time to call it for the day. But before we finished, I was determined to get rid of this huge weed that had been staring at me all year. So, 2 things down and many to go. This is us getting back at it again the next weekend when we had time again. We need to get used to watering our mulch more because it's not decomposing quite as fast as I thought it would. Then we got to cleaning up the huge mess that remained untouched for the last week. We needed to break down the beds more, clear out the tarp that was under the rocks, and burn some of the weeds. After we did all we could in that area, we moved on to thinning out our trees that are overflowing with broken branches. Plus, these trees are so full they aren't doing very well. Believe it or not, this tree is actually a mulberry tree. We are so happy, we love them. But this tree didn't produce the best fruit last year, so I'm wondering if thinning out the trees would actually help it thrive a little bit more. In the meantime, I'm trying to break down all of these branches.
This giant branch up here is totally detached. It's just stuck in the trees. We're trying to figure out how to get it down. So Ben's gonna try cutting this other branch here to kind of free it, assuming it'll fall. But I'm unsure whether or not it's gonna fall into our yard or to our neighbors because they have a fence just beyond this tree here.
Man, getting this branch out would end up taking a huge chunk of our morning. I didn't get on video, but eventually our neighbors would save us by providing an electric saw with a pole to get the job done. Our yard is feeling one step closer to what we want. Did we get everything done? No. In fact, there were other trees I would have liked to trim as well. But there's really no point in being disappointed because we did put a lot of work into it. And I still feel really good about it. Plus, we have tons of firewood for our fireplace now. And lastly, here we are on a date the second weekend, taking some time to just have fun and connect. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.